What I'm going to go over in this video are some difficulties students encounter when they're trying to find the slope when they're given a graph. Now remember, just a reminder, when finding the slope on a graph, how many you had to count up and down goes in the top of the graph, how many you count across goes in the bottom of the graph. What sometimes students have a problem with is that not all slopes are fractions. Sometimes they're written as whole numbers. So you can have a situation where it's not a fraction. Remember, any whole number can be written as a fraction. You just put a 1 up under it. Like if I'm going to write 5 as a fraction, then I simply write it 5 over 1. But what they're going to do is they're not going to write it this way. If you actually get this as a slope, then they're probably just going to ask you to write 5. Another reason you would get whole numbers, just like this situation, is if you can divide those two and come out to be a whole number. So what happens is students get confused, get these two confused. They get this confused with this. This is 1/5. But if you get 5 divided by 1, 5 divided by 1 is 5. Don't get these two confused. This one's still a fraction. This one can come out to be a whole number. So this is a situation where students sometimes get confused. So let's look at an example of this. To find the slope of this line, I need to count up and down, put that in the top of the fraction, across, put it at the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and make my division bar or fraction bar right over here. Doesn't matter which point I start at. Say I start at this one right here. I need to count up and down first, and that number is going to go up here in the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goes in the top. How many I have to count across goes in the bottom. So 1, 2, 2 goes in the bottom. This is a situation where I can actually divide these numbers. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I determine by looking at the graph whether or not this is going to be a positive 3 or a negative 3. So reading things left to right, this line's going down, this is negative 3. So not all answers are going to be fractions. Sometimes students need to find the points that they're going to use to find the slope. You actually have to figure out what the points are. They're not going to give you the points like they did in this example. In this example, they give you the points. Sometimes they're not going to give you the points that they want you to use. You have to find the points that you're going to use. So we're going to go over some examples of how to find points on the line. Here's an example where I need to find 2 points on this line. I need to find a spot on this line where these two meet, where these crosshairs meet. Go up, up, up. Look right here. Right here would be a point on that line. This is not a point. This is not a point. This is not a point. Where the two meet together like that, that creates a point. So there's one point. Then I need to find another point. Here's another point. Now I can start counting to figure out what the slope of this line is. I'm going to go and make a division bar right here. I'm going to start at this one, go 1, 2, 3. 3 goes in the top. 1, 2, 2 goes in the bottom. Can't reduce that. Look at the line, it's going up. That's positive 3/2. So on some of these, I'm going to have to find the points to use. Here's another example of finding points on a line. I go up, look, it looks like right here, this right here is a point. Like if I was going to graph this point, it would be 10, 20. That's a point. Nowhere else from here to here is there a point on this line. Keep moving up, right here. This is also a point on this line. This is 30, 50. That's another point. It doesn't matter what these numbers are. The only thing I have to do here is count blocks. Make that my division bar. I'm going to count up and down first. 1, 2, 3. 3 goes in the top. 1, 2. 2 goes in the bottom. This line is going up, so it's positive 3/2. So I find any point on this line find another point on this line and simply count the blocks to figure out what the slope is. I need to find points on this line. This right here is a point on this line. That's 0, -80. Again, it doesn't matter what these numbers are, I'm still going to count blocks. So I'm going to look and see if I can find another point on this line. That looks like that's another point on this line. That would be 70, -70. To find the slope, the only thing I need to do is count. How many I count up and down goes in the top of my fraction. How many I count across goes in the bottom of my fraction. So that's going to be up 1, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This line is going up. My slope is positive 1/7. They didn't give me any points on this line. I need to find points on this line. This one's not a point right here, but here is a point right here. That would be 40, -50. That's a point on this line. I need to find another point on this line. Anywhere I've got another point, we'll use this one right here. There's another point on this line. I need to count up and down, put that number in the top, count across, put that number in the bottom. Doesn't matter which one I start at. I'm going to start at this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 goes in the top. I need to count across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 goes in the bottom. Always reduce these fractions. 2 will go into both of those. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then remember, I need to look at the line to see whether or not this number is going to be positive or negative. This line is going down. -4/5 is my slope. So try to find points on the line that you can use to help you count these blocks.